Picture this. Everything you've been taught about the universe, its birth, its beginnings, its very existence, could be completely wrong. The Big Bang Theory, the one we've all grown up with, tells us the universe started in an instant, with a massive explosion of energy and matter. But what if that's not the truth? What if there was no beginning at all? What if the universe we live in has always been here, endlessly cycling, stretching back into infinity, with no grand start to speak of? Imagine a reality where the laws of time and space as we know them are turned upside down, where the very idea of a beginning and an end doesn't even make sense. Hold on, because what we're about to explore will challenge everything you think you know about the universe. Stick around, because this journey through the unknown could just blow your mind. Before we completely toss out the idea of the Big Bang, let's refresh our memory on what it's all about. Imagine this. 13.8 billion years ago, the universe was a single, infinitely dense point called a singularity. This tiny speck contained all of the matter and energy that would eventually form every star, every galaxy, every atom in the universe. Then, something incredible happened. An explosion, but not just any explosion. It was the Big Bang. In a fraction of a second, this singularity expanded faster than the speed of light. Space itself stretched out, cooling rapidly. This initial expansion set the stage for the creation of the first stars and galaxies. From that moment onward, the universe continued expanding, cooling, and evolving to give us the vast cosmos we see today. Sounds pretty convincing, right? It explains everything from the formation of galaxies to the spread of cosmic radiation. But what if this isn't how things actually went down? Could there be an alternative explanation? Let's think outside the box. Let's start with a theory that was actually proposed in the 1940s by scientists Fred Hoyle, Thomas Gold, and Herman Bondi. It's called the steady state theory. According to this theory, the universe has no beginning and no end. Instead of the universe coming from a single point, the steady state theory suggests that the universe has always existed and will continue to do so. As galaxies move farther apart due to the expansion, new matter is constantly created to fill in the gaps, keeping the universe in a steady, unchanging state. At first glance, this might sound pretty plausible. If the universe had always existed and always will, there's no need for a sudden explosion or event to begin it. But there's one huge problem with this theory, something that eventually caused scientists to abandon it. In the 1960s, astronomers discovered something called cosmic microwave background radiation (CMB). This radiation was an afterglow of the Big Bang, something that should have been left behind by an explosive beginning. So the steady-state theory couldn't explain this. But what if we don't fully understand the CMB? What if there's an explanation that doesn't involve a Big Bang at all? Let's take this even further. What if the universe doesn't begin or end, but instead goes through an infinite cycle of creation and destruction? Enter the theory known as the Big Bounce. The idea here is that the universe expands, reaching a point where gravity causes everything to collapse in on itself. Eventually, the universe contracts into a singularity once again, and then, boom, the cycle repeats. This would mean that before our current universe, there was another universe that collapsed and rebounded into a Big Bang. And after our universe, there will be another big crunch that leads to yet another Big Bang. This cyclic model offers a tantalizing picture. No beginning and no end, just a constant loop of creation and destruction. Imagine the universe as a giant cosmic washing machine, spinning out galaxies and stars, only to collapse back in and start all over again. But again, could the Big Bounce explain everything? It seems to dodge the need for a singular beginning. What if this never-ending process has been happening for eternity? Now we get into something even wilder. What if our universe is just one of many? What if there are an infinite number of universes, each with different laws of physics, different realities, and different timelines? This is the idea behind eternal inflation. According to this theory, instead of one Big Bang, the universe we live in was just one tiny part of a much larger multiverse. The Big Bang we know was just a local event in a much bigger process of constant creation. The eternal inflation model suggests that the universe didn't just explode into being once, it's constantly creating new universes. Picture it like a giant cosmic foam. Each bubble in the foam is a different universe, each one popping into existence at a different time. Our universe is just one of those bubbles. But what if these universes don't have a single beginning? Could they just have always been emerging and expanding into existence? If our universe is just a single bubble in an infinite sea of universes, it would mean the universe has no single starting point. The Big Bang might not be the start of everything. It could simply be the beginning of our particular universe. There's no beginning of all existence, just the constant birth of new realities. If the Big Bang didn't mark the beginning, how does time even fit into all of this? We tend to think of time as a linear progression, past, present, future. But in a universe without a beginning, time might not even work the way we think. What if time itself is an illusion, or at least, it's not tied to the universe in the way we imagine it? The Big Bang was supposed to mark the moment time began. But what if time has always been? Could we exist in a timeless universe, one where past, present, and future don't have clear boundaries? Imagine that time is just a cycle, or even a loop. Events happening now could have always happened, and they will always happen again in the future. The concept of beginning becomes irrelevant. If the universe didn't have a starting point, then perhaps our timeline is just part of a much bigger, timeless whole. Does time even apply to an eternal cosmos? Now let's really try to picture what the universe might look like if the Big Bang never happened. Without the Big Bang, the universe might be infinite, without any beginning, without any end. Stars could still form, galaxies could still evolve, but there wouldn't be a first moment. Matter could always exist, continuously cycling, expanding, and evolving. In a universe without a Big Bang, we could see everything happening simultaneously. Galaxies, stars, and planets might form and dissolve over and over again. We might witness an eternal, never-ending dance of creation and destruction, and as humans, we'd be a tiny blip in an eternal process. But wait, if there's no Big Bang, is there any real reason for life to even exist? Maybe we're just part of the infinite fabric of the cosmos, an accidental consequence of an eternal universe. So what if the Big Bang never happened? The more we explore this question, the stranger things get. Maybe the universe doesn't have a beginning. Maybe it doesn't have an end. Maybe it's always been here. Or maybe it's just one of many universes, constantly popping into existence. In the end, the Big Bang might not be the true origin of everything. Instead, we could be witnessing an eternal cosmos, a cycle of creation and destruction, or an endless expanding multiverse. The universe could be far stranger and more mysterious than we ever imagined. One thing is for sure though, when we challenge what we know about the universe, we get closer to understanding just how little we actually understand. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.